Namaste. I'm in the sunshine, yay! um, for those of you that don't know or that are joining us for the first time, my name's Clayton Allred. I'm the president of the Church of Flames, and the Church of Flames is the church of fire, love, art, music, equality, and sustainability. And I'm going to start off with our mission statement just so that our purpose and our mission statement, so you can get a good feel for what we're all about and what we are creating here on planet Earth. And we gather community and raise each other up. Our purpose is Co-Flames is a sacred container providing education through arts, wellness, and sustainability for human and planetary evolution. We believe in the conscientious activation of one's godlike self. As creators, we hold sacred the value of free agency and our freedom of choice. In remembering our equanimity and our divinity, we transcend pain, fear, doubt, judgment, and shame into higher vibrational frequencies of compassion, forgiveness, understanding, acceptance, and accountability, expanding our own unique relationship to the divine. Co-Flames is the church of fire, love, art, music, equality, and sustainability that brings ideas into manifestation. Combining ancient wisdom with modern technologies allows for the creation of a sustainable planet. We believe vibrational frequencies holds keys to transform our inner and outer worlds. Fire and sound have the power to have frequencies that have the power to transform both metaphorically and literally. Ceremony, ritual, movement, and breath are centralized to the expansion of self-exploration and loving awareness. As above, so below. We are all one, operating within a unified state of consciousness. By uniting like-minded people and resources, we work together with a common purpose, creating peace and abundance for all life on planet Earth. Through education and providing alternative solutions, we raise the frequency of our collective consciousness now. And so it is. And that is what we are all about. It's a lot. It's a big mission. It's a big purpose. It's a big dream. But it's a really good one. And I believe in my brothers and sisters on this planet wholeheartedly. And I believe that as we be the change that we want to see in the world, we start calling people of like mind and similar frequency to our sides. And we inspire one another, and we inspire, and we inspire, and we reflect higher vibrational frequencies by choosing higher, by choosing love, by choosing forgiveness, by choosing to let go of shame, by choosing to do my own personal work and take a look at the things that might be hard to look at or might have been stubborn about, and choosing to look at those things and whittle away the things that aren't working and support and practice the things that are, and really tune into the self and like, where am I at? What am I feeling right now? What do I need? What do I need to give to myself? Do I need to give myself time and space to take a look? Or just to check in? Checking in, that's probably one of the biggest things that anyone can do on a, daily, as a daily practice, and just check in more and more. Where am I at? How am I feeling? Is it how I want to be feeling? Because we all have the power to change what we're focusing our attention on. at any moment in time. We all have that power. That's a part of equality. We all have uh, the power to uh, follow any thought pattern that we choose to focus our attention on down as far down the rabbit hole as we want. And that's going to affect our emotions depending on what rabbit hole we chose to follow along. And if you find yourself in a position or where you're constantly judging yourself, or where you're depressed, or you're feeling shameful and like blaming yourself for something, or you feel like you don't deserve something because you did this and this and this, realize you don't have to feel that way. Realize that you can forgive yourself. You don't, you don't need any outside source to forgive you. You don't need any outside person to forgive you. It really starts with the self. Because when you can forgive yourself, when you can release that judgment, when you can not, when it comes up, well, just, I forgive myself. And you might have to do that a couple hundred times. You might have to do that 5 times a day, 20 times a day. Uh, but it's the fact that you can. And it's a practice. And we're all in this together, and we all have similar uh, trauma stories. We all have different triggers. We all have uh, different things that we've held on to in our cellular memory, in our subconscious brain, because everybody, there's no single person out there on planet Earth that wasn't in record uh, in theta in childhood. Like, we're on record and we're repeating some of those patterns. And we can consciously shift and rearrange those patterns, change those patterns, change those stories, change those self-limiting beliefs that are running in our subconscious programming, that a lot of us are, it's running and we're unaware that it's running. And that's why it's in the subconscious. The conscious mind isn't typically aware of those things until it discovers, oh, hey, this is a pattern. And then once you can identify consciously that there's a pattern there, you can take a look at what is this pattern all about? Where does this pattern trace back to? And you can start doing that work. And it's really a work of forgiveness. It's all about the self. And when you forgive yourself, you can start forgiving other people, and you can start having compassion for people, because you can understand where they're coming from because you've been there. And this is a beautiful thing. It really allows us to connect in new ways and in deeper ways, because we're in a state of compassion and understanding. And so it really does just start with the self. Let go of what anybody else is doing. Let go of what other countries are doing. Let go of what the president's doing. Let go of the news. Let go and ask yourself, where am I at and what do I need? And then with a follow-up question, what do I love? And do I do it? Do I make time and space for me to do what I love? Those two simple practices can change your entire reality. Start, if you don't know what you do, what you love to do, what you're passionate about, go out and try some new things. Play around, experiment. Give yourself all of the little experiences that you always wished you gave to yourself, but you were scared to. Let go of what anybody else thinks and just do it. Go explore. Find what you love. And when you find what you love, do it. Do it, and thrive. And if it might be scary at first. I started doing what I loved uh, 2006, and uh, I love spinning the staff. I love a lot of things, but I spin fire professionally. Done that for the last 20 years, and you know what? When I started doing what I loved, people people that also were doing what they loved started being attracted to me and coming into my life, and we were able to support each other doing what we love. And that community has grown and grown and grown and grown over the years. And now I'm surrounded by people that are doing what they love. And if people are doing what they love, then you're most likely a lot happier than people that aren't doing what they love. And when you're not doing what you love, you tend to be in stress a lot more. Uh, yeah, anandamide is definitely not being produced. And cortisol is probably being produced, and you're probably in flight or flight. And that doesn't mean that those things don't come up uh, just because you're doing what you love. Uh, they come up a lot less frequently, though, and you get to have the experience of navigating through those things. And what a beautiful experience! And that just creates so much growth within. And so this church is all about creating growth and the opportunity for growth, uh, treating everyone equally. In fact, we have an entire part of the church. Each of the acronyms is a seed and a temple. So there's the Temple of Equality, the Temple of Fire, the entire acronym: fire, love, art, music, equality, sustainability. And uh, we're all about holding sacred space and lifting each other up. And we lift each other up by being vulnerable and real, holding space, being compassionate, um, and learning to communicate in new ways. So, um, you know, I want to talk about water today. Look at this beautiful pool. The, this the sound of the water hitting the water. It's so peaceful, so calm. Water's always in motion on some level. Its hydrogen bonds are always connecting and reformatting and forming new bonds, like when you dive through water, and it's reconnecting. And human beings, we're mostly made up of water. And when you really take an inside look, we're really mostly made up of space. There is a vast amount of space in between electrons. Vast. And, but when it comes down to on a molecular level, we're pretty much water. And we can learn a lot. And we can become like water. Just by... Can you imagine if every human being grabbed another human being's hand and just held it? Until it rippled across the planet and everybody was holding hands. Then we would be like water. And can you imagine playing like Red Rover? And like, have you ever played Red Rover? And held hands, and it was fun. I think that kids might have stopped playing that because it is can be a pretty brutal game. But the important thing is that when we're connected, there's this different type of energy than when we're alone. And there's some powerful time and space to be alone. But at the same time, it's very abundant when we connect to one another and we're holding one another. And I feel like there's still a lot of chaos and pain and judgment, and a lot of people feeling like they're right on planet Earth, meaning that somebody else must be wrong, and willing to debate, willing to fight, willing to, because they feel like they're right. And it's not about being right, it's not about being wrong, it's about acceptance, it's about love, it's about compassion, it's about forgiveness, it's about not reacting and losing one's balance. And that's one thing that has been a big lesson for me personally over the years. And I've had to learn that lesson in some very trying and challenging times there, where I took something personally and I just decided to defend because I was right. And I slipped into the game, and it's about being conscious and aware of that game and realizing that we don't have to play that game personally. And that's not for me to choose for anybody, and it's not for anybody to choose for me. It's a personal decision, and we can make that decision at any moment in time. In fact, we are making those decisions at every moment in time, whether we're being conscious and aware of it or not. And we're all embodying different states of energetic being at all moments in time. And we can elevate our states by choosing into higher states of being. And that's all done right here by where you choose to focus your attention. And so, this week, I really feel like it's all about really getting clear with your yeses and your nos. And honoring your nos. Because if you're not honoring your nos, the universe is going to reflect you not honoring your nos. And if you are honoring your nos, then a yes and you can honor that yes. And that yes becomes very yes. And a no is no. And all of a sudden when you put those limits up, it really, what I've noticed is, I just came back from a trip to Utah. It was very beautiful, and it was full of yeses. Full of yeses. And the no's pretty much were just here and there, and they just kept me on my little path, and everything was super easy, super in flow, very easy, and very just delightful, and I was in the perfect place at the perfect time the entire time. And it was fantastic. And now I'm back here in Arizona, enjoying the sunshine, and I had a really lovely trip. As I cut my dreads. Yep. Big changes, powerful changes, letting go of all that old energy, a decade of energy, and stepping into new spaces. And so it wasn't, cutting my dreads was a no for quite some time. It was an absolute no. And then when it became a yes, it was very clear. It was very clear. I was a fuck yeah. And and I listened, and off they went. And it just happened to fall on February 28th during the alignment, and that's just when it happened. It wasn't like planned like that. Even though I did have some plans to cut it on that day, but I wasn't even doing what I thought I was going to be doing on the 28th in those plans because I let go enough. And it my grandma died, and I went to her funeral, and that's why I went to Utah. But it was still just so perfect. And so uh, I do encourage you just to pay attention to are you honoring your yeses, and are you honoring your nos? And if it isn't a fuck yeah, if it isn't a fuck yes with some excitement, it's most likely a no. And so um, just pay attention to that. Become conscious and aware of that. Give your, like, check in. So here's this week's homework for all of you out there. Check in with yourself 3 times a day for the next week. How am I feeling? What am I thinking about? Is this what I want to be feeling? And is this what I want to be thinking about? And if it's not, conscious become conscious and aware of what it is you want to be feeling and what it is you want to be thinking about. And then consciously shift your focus to that. And a lot of times, if you can't do that, start focusing on things that you're grateful for, because that will automatically pull you out of whatever state you are in and take you higher. And then focus your attention to the things that you do want to be thinking about and the ways you do want to be feeling. And so that's just 3 times a day. Check in. They can be whenever you feel it's best for you. But then come back, leave a comment, or check out the the Temple of Equality, the Church of Flames Equality page on Facebook. Share something there. Uh, but the simple practice of being conscious and aware and taking the time to check in with yourself. It only takes like 2 or 3 seconds. Check in. So I'm asking you to give me 9 seconds a day. I'm asking you to give yourself 9 seconds a day just to check in and be conscious and aware of what am I feeling? What am I thinking about? So that is this week's homework. I'm going to keep it short and sweet this week. We're only at 23 minutes long, but I'm feeling like that is a powerful practice. So do that and leave some comments in either this or on the equality page. Have a beautiful week. Love you so much. Spread love across the planet, one person at a time, and you can do that just by starting off by loving yourself and doing nice things for people, doing loving things for people. And that might mean not flipping the guy off that just honked at you and almost hit you on the freeway. Like, just start being conscious of where you're coming from. Am I coming from a space of love? How can I love deeper? Yeah, that's a good question. How can I love deeper? So, I love you, and I'll see you next week at 3:33. Enjoy your week. Be blissful, and remember that you are a powerful, divine creator. Blessings.